So celebrating achievement. This I'm going to spend the most time on because it's important to me to do so. So what I want to do is we're going to go through, and I want quickly for you guys to be recognized for what y'all have already accomplished. That is important. But here's the other part. I don't want to keep talking about that high school football game that you won either. That's been a while. It's time to move. Okay? I'm going to do the short and sweet. So the other thing we're going to do is we're going to stand up in our spot so that we make this go fast because I want to get to the stuff. Okay? So with that said, anybody that participated in carrying hands, please stand up so that we can recognize you. Let's give these folks a hand. Real quick, what I want to do is one of you, let's have Linda, let's see here. Terry, you were at the Carrying Hands Day, weren't you? Yes, you were. I remember a fun picture I took with you. Stand up real fast and tell everybody what Carrying Hands Day did for you and what you feel when you're participating in something like that. And do about 30 seconds if you don't mind.
You're talking about the food bank?
Yep.
Carrying Hands was a chance to give back to the community, to pack up some food for people that we don't even know. But it's a chance to go out and help. And it's a national day that the corporation has started with a nonprofit, which is Carrying Hands. But it's an opportunity for us to give back to the community, to support whatever area that we wanted to support. And a lot of us got together and did the food bank downtown.
Pretty cool.
Good place to be.
Yeah, that's powerful. Awesome. Love it. Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. And also, I didn't make this clear, and if you didn't stand up, go ahead and stand up again for Carrying Hands. And if you have donated to the potato packs, I want to recognize that as well. You guys. Very good, very good. I love it. Who has celebrated, since the last regional that you have attended, who has celebrated a power play? A power play is 3 new business partners and 3 new customers. If you have done that, please stand up so we can recognize you on that as well. Very powerful. Tell us real quick on that, what power play did for you. What did you see after doing that?
Well, actually it was pretty cool. I didn't think I could do it. You know, first of all, it's
You're good. Love it.
You know, helping your team, man, it's a great thing. I've been in this business 2 years, you know, and I'm one of those guys that kind of gave up. I did. I gave up. I said, you know what, man, this is doing nothing for me, whatever. And finally, Houston. I was here in Houston when Harvey hit, and that's when I actually hit the first position in Jade. I'm actually a Pearl now. And I had no idea. You know, I mean, it was those potato packs and different things, you know, and that's actually what got me there. You know, and a team, you know, I reached out to the team and I said, hey, look, check it out. This is what's going on, and you're going to help me out. And yeah, cool. Hit Jay with a power play. The power play, man, I don't like helping people. I'll tell you that. I didn't at first, you know, I was one of those guys. I didn't like helping people. But finally, you know, reached out, I said, you know what, I'm going to start helping my team, start helping some teammates out or whatever. And I went out. And the coal market is actually the awesome market. I love it.
Yeah.
You know, going out there talking to people. I'm a gym, ex-MMA fighter and all kinds of stuff. And
tournament in the war market.
Oh yeah, yeah. You know, and so I went out there and I accomplished a power play 3 days.
Nice.
Right. 3 days. So I was like, wow, this is awesome. And I was 3 days. And I was able, you know, my thing was to help a teammate out with that power play, and I did. And it was awesome, you know what? And so that's, you know, yeah. They say fighters don't have hearts. We have hearts, big hearts. You know, you just have to find it, you know. So
good job.
Yeah,
good job. That's awesome. Appreciate it. And I know David and Hart not only did it one time, they did it 2 times. 3 times,
yeah.
3 times now that they've done that, and actually will be sitting on the floor at Orlando as a result of getting that done here recently. So well done on that as well. Great job, Felicia. Okay, next up, Garnet. If you are a Garnet in the room, stand up and let's be recognized. Let's give everybody a hand that is Garnet. Garnet specifically. Any Garnets currently? Good job. Excellent. We we've heard from Terry. Let's hear from Berna over here. Make Harold run all the way across the room.
I was going to say, he's good at that.
So tell everybody your name, where you're from, what team you're a part of.
Yes, I'm adopted from Dream Team. My name is Berna. I'm from Turkey. I live in Woodlands. One of my friends introduced the Kayani, so I love it because I have some issue in my blood work. Then I left. I don't know anybody. I couldn't reach anybody. Then I did the computers, start looking for who's around me. Then I find Team Fusion. So I went Dallas in my anniversary day. So I met Rock and Miss Karen, and then they introduced me Mr. Casey. So they are my Kayani angels now. They adopted me.
That's awesome.
So I'm still Garnet, but I'm just listen and follow his, direction. So I'll be okay, hopefully. I don't know. Then today is also Big Hits. I need to tell you because it makes me cry early.
Good.
So when I met him, he showed me how you realize my whys. So my whys is my children, because I have 3 adopted children, and mom, my son, 4 kids, 3 of them my brother, he passed away. So then I realized today, it's not just about the children. So it's not just about the money. It's not just about to reach my car or dream car or something. So it's about my dream makes to be true, because I realized my parents never reached their dream. So they never their dream to be true. They always imagine about the dream house, Mediterranean dream house, always my childhood about, listen, they never reached. Then I realized, oh my God, it's about all my dreams come true. It's all of them about my dreams. Not just, like 10 or more. It's about my life, about how my goal to reach all my dreams become true. So I asked him, please take me your team. But he said it's welcome and still adopt me. So I feel so blessed. God bless you, all of them. Thank you so much for having me.
Awesome.
So I'm gonna be Diamond to Twinnie. I told Miss Karen I'm gonna hold your hand to go to stage with you.
I love it.
Hopefully, thank you.
Very nice. Very nice. Thank you for sharing that. Incredible. Jades, if you are currently a lifetime Jade, stand up so we can recognize you as well. All of our Jades, give them a hand. Let's hear from, tell us your story real fast. Yes.
My name is Melanie. My name is Melanie Sanchez. I'm a dental hygienist, and I've been in Kayani since I believe March. And it's been just a journey. I've been learning so much, and I think today, I just want to speak about today, because I just finished Landmark with some of you guys in here as well. So life has been really transformative, and today is like that. And so it's really been kind of it's been a nice journey these last few months, because I really think that's what I needed. So, because we've been learning through trainings and such, and I've kind of, to be honest, I've kind of come in and out of a Jade, and that's okay. But I'm a person that's in it for the long haul, and I'm a dental hygienist. I consider myself an expert. I've been doing that for 17 years. I've been in dentistry over 20. So that's what brought me to something new and started engaging my mind and learning something new. And this has been really, these last few months have been really, really transformative. It really is true. So
Awesome.
I really appreciate today. Thank you.
Appreciate you. Thank you. All of our pearls, if you are a lifetime pearl, go ahead and stand and be recognized. Let's give them a hand. Here, because she loves talking in front of large groups.
I was just going to sit down so you wouldn't yeah. I'm Claire Rincon. I made Pearl back in November of last year. It's been a rocky road, but I'm going to get there. I don't know what else to say.
Tell us what Kayani's done for you so far.
I know one thing, I'm never gonna stop. I mean, I do my acclamations every morning, never quit, never, give up. I just don't want to stop. Keep on sharing.
And let's share your why with us too.
Well, I know I'm not supposed to look at it, Candace, but I'm nervous. My daughter, her new husband, I'm so proud. Financial freedom. And what that means to me is having the time with my granddaughters. I can see it. I have 4 granddaughters. Going on a cruise with them and not having to say no. Just doing whatever they want. I don't say no to them now, but I can't afford it. But I figure it out. But also giving back and becoming a missionary with my church. Donate, being able to donate. I get all these things in the mail and I have to tear them up right now because I can't donate, but I will. I have a dream to have a tree house, y'all don't laugh. A tree house in North Carolina. So I want a tree house.
One tree.
My mom, we had to give her house to my sister because they were going to renovate it because it was falling apart around her. She couldn't, she's 85 years old, could not get a loan to fix the house. Had old wiring from the 40s. You can imagine how old it was. This was a year ago. They got a contractor to come in, did 3 bids, did everything right. Well, after Harvey, he walked away after taking over $100,000. I want her to be able to have that house. And I can't help them because I can't even help my own house. But that's what I want to do.
I got a new why. I want to find that contractor. Remember that gator pond I was talking about? Okay. Sapphires. If you were a sapphire, stand and be recognized.
Yeah.
I want to hear from Jake and I want to hear from David and Tara. I think others have spoken.
Cool. Most of you guys know me, Jake Wernitznik. And kind of like Melanie was saying, it hasn't been a quick trip for me by any means, but I was thinking earlier in the hall today, I was thinking, man, if I was telling people about my life before Coyote and after Coyote, I'd start by saying, man, before I got started in Coyote, I wasn't married. I had hair on my head. and I had a job. I'd be like, man, you lost all that? You got married? I don't know. It just... It sounded funnier in my head. I look at all those things, and I guess the thing behind that is when I was that way, I really don't feel like I was being myself. I feel like I was just kind of conforming. And, I started thinking about that with this stupid new BlackBerry phone that came out. All of a sudden this thing came out and I was obsessed. And I realized there's just such a desire within me not to just do what everybody else is doing. And so when I got started in this business, I started to realize that in every different aspect of my life. It's not just about triangle and fluoresce and making all this money. It's about discovering what matters to you, pushing yourself. And that's what the business and the products and all the personal development has done for me. You discover who you are and you just keep going. The other thing, Brian, you were talking about, not bottle rocking and getting so fixated on having a huge curve. And I started thinking about that with stocks. And sorry, I know this is taking way long, but this is one thing I sort of started thinking about a few months ago. And so many people get so concerned. They're like, man, it's been 30 days, it's been 60 days, it's been 90 days, I'm not diamond. And most people don't stick around in this business long enough to see the progress that they've made over time. And I started thinking about this with the stock market, and I keep talking about when you're watching a chart in the stocks, you see higher highs and higher lows, and higher highs and higher lows. and this business is going to go up and down and up and down and up and down. But you got to stick with it, and if you're doing the right things consistently over time, I charted my progress. I charted my QB and my ranks, and it's higher highs and higher lows, higher highs and higher lows. It's still going up.
Yeah.
You have to keep that in mind. You keep doing that for 5, 10 years, man, it's unbelievable. That's what this is about.
Wonderful. Wow. Very good.
Casey, after the landmark, Casey came into my house, and he had been working with Tara and Sherry as well, and he came in my house, and this was literally, I think that
Monday.
Monday after landmark, and beforehand I would have said, get out of my house, and I don't want to talk to you, kick rocks, and we got to talking, and I literally just threw my credit card on the table and said, let's go, and it has been game changer for my life, for our relationship, for my family, and just we are an example of the bottle rocket. We took off like it was nothing, and now we have to go back, regroup, and follow the steps the right way. And you said it spot on, is you have to stick with this and learning the reasons why and understanding the reasons why, not just in this, but in life. And being able to understand why we're here, why we wake up every single morning, because we want to live for our family, we want to live for our friends and everybody else, and understanding that why is the most important thing in our life. And regardless, I've met great people in this. I can't thank Casey enough. When he talks about those 19 people, I hope I'm not number 20, because this guy's changed my life. I follow this guy to the moon and back, and we can be in a Cadillac with 3 wheels and one of them on flat. It does not matter, and I've run with this guy anywhere. And so when he says, hey, this is the reasons, this is the reason why, we did that, we followed that, and that's why we're here. So we're not Sapphires just because of us, we're Sapphires because of his leadership, our team. You guys have all helped us out as well. I look forward to learning more, and next year this being even bigger. Yeah, I look small now, but these are the times that we'll look back and say, hey, remember that time we were in that office and there was 30 of us, right? And this would be one of those hotel rooms that we'll look back on and remember why we did these things and why our lives was important. So I feel the love, the joy, and I wouldn't trade this for anything whatsoever. So I'm glad I could be in this room with you guys and share those things, and let's all remember that once we leave this room, that's when it actually counts. When you get to the house and you get that phone, okay, do I want to sit here and watch an hour of this BS, or do I actually want to spend my time and remember my why? That's what you have to be able to do, because we're all motivated right now, but it's when you get behind closed doors, that's when it actually matters. That's what actually counts. And if you think about it, this is all fundamental stuff that we're talking about. Fundamentals mean everything. Awesome. You want to get that tree house? I've always wanted one too. Let's get it.
That's fantastic.
I wasn't sure how this would change our life when I met Sherry at Landmark. Sherry stood up at Landmark to share working through something she had going on. To be honest, I can't even tell you what it was. Because when she stood up there, she says, so my business partner tells me, Mr. Salge, that I need to be here. And she says, I can't figure out how to get out of my own way. She says, so I'm here because he says I have to be here. And she says, but I'm committed with him to change 200,000 lives. And right there, that's all she had to say. I was hooked. Now it took Casey 2 months, and I will say, there was days I was like, I'm too busy. I can't talk to him right now. And I'll call him back. And it could have been a week that would go by, and I think, man, he popped in my head again. Let me call Casey. And it was the phone tag until one day I was standing in the warehouse, and he knows which warehouse I'm talking about, and I paced that warehouse for an hour talking to him. And my biggest thing to Casey, which is my, it's my trump card, is I'm too busy. And I told Casey, I said, this sounds wonderful, Casey, because I'm all about helping people, but I'm way too busy, man. Like, do you know what I do? And he was like, now that I know Casey, I'm probably thinking in the back of his head, he was like, yeah, do you know what I do, lady? Like, now, hindsight. So, why I say this is because Casey brought something to me and to my forefront that I thought I was too busy. And then once I realized that I wasn't too busy to help other people, which is what I already do every day anyways, why couldn't I just intertwine this? Let's go. So Casey and I got on the horn, we got that done, we met the next day. We waited for this one to go to Landmark because I was not going to go through this by myself. I failed at another network marketing adventure, and this one made sure I knew about it quite a bit. This one.
I can see that.
And so I didn't want to go back down that, and I didn't want to waste my money. So I had made a promise to him that I wouldn't venture down something again without checking with him, or confiding in him, because he can see things better than I can sometimes. So Casey said, yeah, we're not going to do that until after Landmark. So you just let him go through Landmark and then let's pounce. Cool. Okay. So you guys heard the rest of the story. Throws down the credit card. So all I have to say is Casey had said something in the very beginning. He says it all the time. This is a personal development trail journey that you're going to make some money on.
Yep.
And it has been that since day one. If it's not him motivating me, it's David Jones motivating me, and that can be quite interesting at times, as I'm sure anybody who has a partner in here knows. If it's not them, then it's the rest of you guys, and I want you to know that you guys have all become family. I enjoy seeing every one of you guys. I love watching you pop up my feed or whatever, and so I just want to thank all of you guys for your support and your help for us, but I'm ready to help you guys, so you let me know how I can help you. And we'll just all make a bunch of diamonds by 2020. That's all I really got to say about that.
Well done. Thank you guys for the awesome words. All right. Here's what we're going to do. Our volunteers. Let's celebrate them, because we can't do this without them. Stand up, volunteers. We haven't had one of these since May. I literally sent one message on a special volunteer line that we've got. If anybody wants to be on that, let us know, any of the people that stood up, or myself, and we will add you to that if you want to be in on that side of things. But I literally put one message out there, and everything else was taken care of. That was it. That was all that happened. I told them where we're going to be. That's it. And where we're sitting, what we've got done, set up, the time in the morning that they got up to make all that happen, all those things, could not possibly do it without all of them. So one more hand of them. It's the first time I've kept it together going through that slide. I'm very happy about that. So we're going to go through this. If I will post this whole presentation online, I will let you take one picture and then I'm going to move. Because this is that third part that I was talking about, where we usually spend the entire regional going through all of this stuff to know all these numbers and how this works and that works, and all of this knowledge is not anything that you can use in what we've done. It's important to know that it's here, but this is that stuff that you go look up later. This is where Henry Ford calls somebody up and says, hey, if you really want to know this stuff, I can get it for you, but it's not what you need to keep in your brain, okay? So that's why it's going to be relegated here to the end. I'm going to send this slide deck out to the Power Hour group. You'll be able to download it. You can go look at all this stuff later. And it's pretty obvious. Customers, same thing. Here's the money that's there. 3, 2, 1. Starter packs, volume, the amount of money that's on there, QV, CV, SV, KV, blah, 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 blah. Never going to be a test. Never going to be anything that you need to know. Is it important stuff? Absolutely. I don't want anybody to misunderstand what I'm saying, but not something that you keep in your head. Promoting events. Same thing, you're gonna read this slide. I've talked about promoting events so much. You know how important it is. You know what today did for you or did not do for you. You know you don't get this anywhere else. This is why you go to events. So there's 3 slides on that. Professionals do this. If you could study, everybody goes. The experience, it was magical. Refocus, recommit, all that stuff. La, 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 la. Stick figures on the board. What did you feel today? If you felt something, share that with the next person on why they need to be at the next event. The hard truths. You're going to hear what you need to hear, blah, 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 blah. Words, words, words. All stuff that happened to you today. You experienced this in real life. I'm just reminding you that you don't try to explain it this way. Because when the next person hears all the stick figures, they're not inspired. They're not going to actually take action. You share what was shared today from y'all, and you share it from the heart, we'll triple this room next month. If you don't, we'll have the same size or smaller. When you get it, it's done. It's just, how good am I at getting this across to you? Hopefully today got it across to you. So make sure you're registered for Orlando. Because the experience of what you're going to have in Orlando will make this look like we were sitting still. They're going to give you information, but the experience that you feel at the event is going to be insane. So let's get to income bringing activities. We're not going to report in our scores. We're not going to do any of that this time for the sake of time. I want to get to actually doing. I want you to take your plan on a page that you've worked so hard on today. I want you to take a name for one of them that you know what their thing is, or you think you know what it is, and I want you to reach out to them. If you want to call them, call them. If you want to text them, do so. Those are your 2 options. But you got to reach out to them. My goal is that we do this until 20 minutes expires. You're going to spend 20 minutes driving the car. If you forgot how to drive the car, raise your hand. I'll swing by. I'll show you how to drive it personally. If you don't know how to drive the car, I said there might be some of you that don't. I'm good with that one. But anybody not sure on how to drive this car right now, please raise your hand. Please be honest with me. No hands went up. Mission accomplished. Good. Now you know where you're going. We worked the heck out of that. And now you know how to get there. And then when your people come in, when the finished goods come out the factory, they're going to be customers or they're going to be business partners. What do you need to do to them? Make sure they get in front of this information. Can you teach somebody how to fill out that very high-tech document sitting in front of you right now?
Yes. Yep.
Do you need any specialized training from here on out to be able to pass this on to another person? Can you do it as well as I did it? No. Probably not.
Probably not. No.
And that's okay. And there's going to be a time when I ask that question, that the answer is going to be a lot different. I'm looking forward to that. Now here's what we do in the meantime. Since you're not where you want to be, hearing this one time, is that enough? Or are you going to need to maybe keep hearing some things about this, explore some of this in more detail? While it was 6 hours of hardcore stuff, it's not everything. So we have an outlet for that. It's called Power Hour. And all of y'all said you knew what that was. Is that still a true statement? Yes. All of y'all know what Power Hour is? It's on Mondays and Thursdays. It's from 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. It's 1 hour. It's online. You don't have to drive anywhere. You got to at least wear a shirt. You don't have to wear pants.
Yeah, Brian.
It could be a wife beater even. It's good. But here's what. It's up to you if you're going to do that. You just said you might need some more information on this. Come to that. Ask your questions there. And not because of anything other than I want other people to hear your question. It was very interactive today. You felt the difference when that happens. You learned as much from your peers than you did from me. So that's what that's for, by going to that. So please go to that and get the word out for that as well. Okay? So then what I want you to do is understand last statements on what we do. If you don't see how you can get into that third lane, drop the hammer, and go 121 miles an hour in your vehicle now that you know how to drive, if you don't see how you can do that, you don't take action. Now you see how to do that. Remember that human beings are very, very special. We can see things. We can imagine things. Everything that you're going to touch today, physically sit in, touch, feel, smell, taste, see, or experience, for the most part, minus the heaven and the stars, was most likely in somebody's brain at one point. They saw it before it happened. They took the raw materials from the earth, they fashioned them together in a different way to create something new. But it all started as a vision. They knew where they were going to go. They didn't know how they were going to do it. I've shown you now how to do it. There's no more excuses on that. Some people got to go out and figure that out. You don't have to do that with this. Go figure out some other stuff and be that to your thing that you do. This is what I do. This is my thing. That's what I bring. That's why I'm up here sharing it with you all. But you all have something in you that's crazy. That's a crazy thought, crazy idea that you've been thinking about. Use this vehicle to get you the cash that you don't have to keep trading time and for money and sitting somewhere that you don't want to go out and do your thing. It might be parkour. Maybe that's your thing. Maybe you want to be the best in the world. I promise you, you got to see it. You got to use everything we learned today and use it the same way. You got to see it. So I want to give you a little inspirational of the craziness of what people, every one of these that you're going to see in this video, I want you to consider the fact that somebody envisioned that and say, you know what would be a good idea? That's how most good ideas start. Then somebody goes and breaks something. Hold my beer, watch this. Somebody's got a vision. Then they go out and they screw it up. They screw it up again, they screw it up again, and then they get it if they want it bad enough. That's what every one of these lunatics you're about to see did. And they were crazy enough to go do it. So don't forget that. All right? Let's roll that footage that's at the end of all these.
Roll that beautiful bean footage.
Right?
Yeah.
Listen to the words of the song, too.
Can you even see what you're fighting for? Bloodlust and a holy war. Listen up, he's a patriot shout. Times are changing. In the end, show us what's here. Take a shot in the face of fear. Fist up in the firing line. Times are changing. See a dying star. White lies at the man on fire. Making love with the devil hurts. Times are changing. A thin line, the whole truth, the far right, the left view, and breaking all those promises made. Times are changing.
see it. If you don't see it, you ain't gonna go for it. It just comes down to that. With that, let's get after it. Nothing less to do than go do it. Thank you guys for coming. See y'all next time.
Thank you.